Hey y'all, today I'm going to show you how to make my gluten-free strawberry crunch ice cream cake. It is really easy to make with some store-bought shortcuts, and it's so good, y'all. It beats the summer heat and will remind you of that childhood ice cream man treat. So let's get into it and I'll show you how to make it. To make the strawberry crunch, we'll put 28 gluten-free golden Oreos in the bowl of my food processor and process them into fine crumbs. Now you can use a different brand of vanilla sandwich cream cookies if you'd rather. I particularly love the golden Oreos, but if you want to use like Great Value brand, Glutino makes one. There are plenty of others, whatever you want to use. Okay, these are nice and fine now. We'll go ahead and stream in 8 tablespoons or 113 grams of melted butter and process until it's the consistency of wet sand, just like this. Now I'll just divide these evenly, eyeballing it into 2 bowls. And to one of these bowls, I'm adding a package, which is 3 ounces or 85 grams of strawberry jello mix. And I'll mix this through. I already have my oven preheated to 350 Fahrenheit, and I'll dump the crumbs onto 2 small baking sheets. These are quarter sheet pans. And I'll spread them out evenly and bake the vanilla ones for 5 minutes and the strawberry ones for 3 minutes more, or 8 minutes, and then let them cool completely. All right, these have cooled completely, and I'll just break them up and then combine the two. And that's our strawberry crunch crumbs, guys. It's so easy. Okay, I'm going to use this cake ring I have, and I'll leave a link below for this, but you can also use cake pans. I'm making this around 8 inches, but it's not precise. I'd prefer a taller cake, so it may actually be more like 7 inches, but I'm not really measuring. I have 2 sheets of wax paper, and I'll just crumple them up really quick. It just makes it easier to work with. And I prefer the wax paper to plastic. When I first made this with plastic, the plastic wrap would sometimes stick to itself and get all bunched up, and the wax paper tends to work better. So I'll line this with 2 sheets just so we have full coverage of the entire pan. And I have these clips, these I don't even know what they're called, clips, binder clips, I guess. And I'm just going to clip it onto the top and around the top of the ring. You don't have to have these, obviously, but I just like keeping it out of my way. Okay, I've got my softened vanilla ice cream, or as soft as I could get it. It's funny because ever since I got this marble top, I can't get things to soften as quickly because it's so cold. I guess that's a good thing sometimes, but not necessarily right now when I want this ice cream to be a little softer. Anyway, do your best to put the softened vanilla ice cream into the bottom and then spread it out as evenly as possible. I'm using an offset spatula, but it helps after a while to grab a sheet of plastic wrap and then just press down on it to even it out. Now I'll take a good hefty dose, probably at least a cup, of these crumbs and sprinkle all over the top of that vanilla layer. You can't ever have too many crumbs, you guys. That's the best part of an ice cream cake, I think, anyway. I used to make ice cream cakes a lot for my kids' birthdays when they were growing up. And they are so strange because they don't really like regular cake much. But all the kids and adults loved the ice cream cakes. Okay, next is the strawberry ice cream. We'll carefully add that on top of the crumbs so we don't disturb the crumbs too much. And here's a little trick. If your ice cream, the strawberry ice cream, isn't as strawberry tasting as you'd like, if you really want a prominent strawberry flavor, you can cheat a little and add about 2 ounces or 56 grams of freeze-dried strawberry powder, which is just freeze-dried strawberries that you've grind into a fine powder in a food processor, and just mix it through, and it makes the strawberry ice cream really sing with strawberry flavor. Not necessary, but just a little tip if you want it super strawberry-y. Okay, I'll get a sheet of plastic wrap and smooth out the top a little. And then I've got a cake circle that I trimmed to fit my cake ring. And I'll put this back in the freezer for at least an hour. And while that's freezing solid, we can make the whipped cream for the frosting. I have 2 cups of heavy cream. That's 480 grams of heavy whipping cream. And I'm just going to whip this up with about a half a cup of powdered sugar and a tablespoon or so of vanilla extract. We're looking for pretty stiff peaks here. And this looks pretty good. All right, we can unmold the cake now. And I like to put a cake circle on the bottom and then flip it over so the strawberry is on the bottom and the vanilla is on the top. I'll just use a butter knife to loosen up the sides, and then the ring just slides right off. I love these cake rings. They are so cheap, and you can do so much with them. So if you decide to get one, like I said, I have a link. And then just carefully peel away the wax paper. If at any time during any of these processes the ice cream cake starts to soften, just put it back in the freezer for 15 minutes or so. Now I'll take that whipped cream frosting and frost the top and the sides of the cake. I like doing this on a turntable. If you don't have a turntable, you can actually use a Lazy Susan. That would also work really well. Okay, I'm going to get this back into the freezer for 15 minutes or so. And then I'm going to do another coat of the whipped cream. Then I go back in the freezer again for 15 minutes. And now we can add the best part, the strawberry crunchies. I just hold on to the bottom of the cake in one hand, and then I go around the cake with my other hand full of the crunchies and just gently press them to adhere to the sides. And then I go around the top. Don't be afraid to really layer on the crunchies, because I think they are the best part of any strawberry or any ice cream cake. And the more the merrier. All right, this cake is done, so all we need to do is put it back in the freezer for at least an hour, and then we can dig in. Who says we have to miss out on all that nostalgic food we used to get? Like the strawberry shortcake bars from the ice cream man. This cake tastes just like those old ice cream bars, complete with all the same textures, but it's much easier to eat and it has way more crunchies. Enjoy.